I come back again to my channel and amuse you people of Africa. The Dudula people have threatened that by next year, if you are not properly documented, you are not allowed to enter South Africa. Whether you are a student or you are a business person, you must be documented properly before you can enter the South Africa. Take note, if you are preparing to go to South Africa and you are not properly documented, you are an illegal immigrant, you have to do a proper documentation so that you will be allowed to enter and participate, whether you are a student in South Africa.
Operation Dudula has threatened that foreign learners with no identity documents will not be allowed to enter schools next year. But the chairpersons responsible for the social cluster have warned that no disruption will be tolerated, especially the targeting of foreign learners.
We therefore condemned with the utmost contempt those forms of threats and actions. If you are identifying yourselves as a civil organization, you must be able to understand your footing so that you do not violate the rights that have been enshrined in the Constitution.
Also know that every time there's another fire, this and that, most of those citizens lose their identifications, their IDs and everything. So you'd also be saying to other South Africans, you are legitimate South Africans, you don't have access into this facility unless and until you produce an ID. It doesn't matter your ID was burnt in the fire last night or last week.
Another concern raised involves 2 out of the 8 regulations of the Bella Act that have recently been gazetted. The Department of Basic Education has missed a June deadline to have all regulations published.
The regulations refer to considering the demographics and education needs of the surrounding community. In the Act, however, in the Act, the responsibility for admission policy is actually given to the head of department. And we believe that that is not in line with the essence or the principles of the Act, and that potentially reinforces local demographic homogeneity, contrary to the type of inclusivity that the Act intended.
The other regulation that was published involves the implementation of Grade R, which is compulsory in terms of the Act. Zelene Merrington, SABC News, Parliament.
The two groups again filled the streets of Durban to hand over another set of demands, this time to the courts. Despite some criticism, they say they remain firm in their beliefs in fighting against illegal migrants, stressing that they are not xenophobic but are protecting the interests of South Africans.
We are not angry, we are furious.
They assert jobs, hospitals, schools and businesses are collapsing under the weight of illegal foreign nationals. These nationalist groups are unimpressed by any government department's response. They say their demonstrations will intensify until the law is enforced.
Mass deportations have not been happening the way we have asked for. People are still hiring illegal immigrants, which means the Department of Labor, we would appreciate it if they intensify their actions. There's still spaza shops being opened, being run, and you don't know how much more must happen. We've already had so many deaths.
They have some allies on the benches of Parliament, with the Patriotic Alliance also present.
We are not in a position to allow foreign nationals, documents or no documents, to utilize our public health care facilities.
According to Operation Dudula, they also plan on starting to block access to schools.
If you are undocumented, there's no ways that you need to be entertained. You must be turned back and returned home. Now, because the parents of these kids are undocumented, that makes them undocumented too. They should not even be at those schools. Now, the ones that are documented shouldn't be given first preference.
They are calling for increased cooperation among the community, law enforcement and the courts to ensure the arrest and deportation of individuals residing illegally in the country. Authorities have been given 30 days to respond to the memorandum of demands. Or see Kona Malingamnisi in Durban.
I think South Africans are wrong by chasing away the foreign nationals, especially black foreign nationals, people from Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and so forth. They are very wrong. I'll tell you, I have 3 ways I can prove to you why they are wrong. Number 1, they say they must go back to where they come from. For that reason only, you are telling me that you are ignorant, because why will they go back to where they come from? Why? I mean, it's like telling someone from Eastern Cape you must go back and fix where you come from. I mean, some of you are in Gauteng province and you are coming from Limpopo, Northwest, Eastern Cape, Western, wherever you come from. What happens if somebody tells me I must go back to Northwest? Bro, people are starving in Northwest. Why will I go back? Of course, I would go back every now and then, but those people are looking up to me to save them. The same applies to foreign nationals. They came here because they left people starving in their own country. They are here to make a living. They can't just move because it's fun to move. They moved because poverty moved them. And that is why they are always stuck in Mankuru, bank, sending money home. And then when you come and decide that they're not supposed to access healthcare systems because otherwise they are foreign nationals. We are fighting the wrong people. You will never see white people fighting each other in any country for whatever reason. It's always us black people fighting each other. They must go back. What's wrong with us, guys? The second reason why we shouldn't do that is that if Africa has to unite, we have to come together, guys. And we the one who are starving. We are starving as black people. Even in South Africa, even though we're trying to act like we are better Africans, we are all starving, and we owe ourselves unity as African people. We need to have one Africa, just like Europe. There's one Europe. There's one currency called euro. It's a continent united as Europe. What's wrong with us as Africans to unite? We always, want to fight each other. Xenophobic days. You don't have to use the healthcare system. White people are owning 80% of the fertile land, and they are only 7% of the population. Why don't we fight them if we want to fight for our country? Now, the third reason is that even if we fight them, what are we going to benefit? Of course, we're going to have enough healthcare resources, but have we ever struggled a lot with that because of foreign nationals? Why we lack humanity so bad that we are inconsiderate of our own black people? Like, look at my skin color, look at their skin color. But you look at white people and be like, okay, that's fine. You look at Indians and be like, okay, beautiful. But your own black, with the black skin, you look at them like enemies. Something is wrong here. You are doing something wrong. And if I'm the one who's supposed to say it, I will say it. I'm a South African, but I believe wholeheartedly that you are doing it wrong. And the last concept into this whole thing that wrap it up really is that they need to be documented. That I get. But I've heard a speech, somebody said, if you are a foreign national, you must leave. And he was quoting some act from the Constitution. I'm like, how did it get here? Because I thought it was about registration. It was about home affairs. How did it get there? Now it's like complete inconsideration. And are we doing that to all other races that are here as foreign nationals? Like white people, there are those who are in Cape Town as foreign nationals without South African citizenship. Are we doing that to them? And what I want to say is, it's good that we want them to be registered in their home affairs. But what I'm saying is, why are they not registered? Probably because they don't have money. Because home affairs need to get paid. Have we looked into them and say, why are you not registered? Do you have money? How much is it for you to get registered? How much it takes for you to renew your passport after 5 years or whatever the time may be? How much it takes to have a work visa? How much? This is our African. They ran away from wars in Congo. They ran away from poverty in Nigeria or in Zimbabwe or Mozambique. And when a black boy or black woman, you are there telling us that you are fighting to protect South Africa. Why don't you take the land? If you want to fight for South Africa, why don't you fight white people? We are directing our anger towards the wrong people, and I said it.